There is a hidden health crisis. So many people in our society are suffering from it, and they don't know. And we're going to be talking about that and a whole lot more right after this. Welcome, everybody. Millions of people have this disease, and there are zero symptoms until it's too late. And it's causing a lot of very serious health problems because this particular disease impacts at least one organ that if that organ's not working very well, there's a whole bunch of other things that stop working. So we're going to be talking about that today. Welcome, George. Good to see you. Sorry to hear about your blunt force trauma. And that is a lot of damage to a lot of places that you don't want to have damage. So hopefully you'll recover soon and be healthy. And
oh my gosh. Yeah.
One of the things that I know is improved nutrition means improved recovery. Doesn't matter your age.
I would hope to suggest to George that some enzymes are in order. Yeah. Vital Health is one of the best blends out there. And George, take a look. You probably need to pump enzymes to try and restore the function in your arteries and veins. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, sidebar. That's the downstream. What happens, you can do blunt force trauma from the outside in, but you can also cause similar damage going from inside into the circulatory system. That's one of the downstream effects of the trouble.
Awesome. Flooding enzymes every day. Good on you, George. Knew you'd have it handled.
Yeah.
All right. So we jumped ahead of ourselves a little bit, but this is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast. I almost reverted to what I was been saying for 15 years, starting, 20 years ago.
Maybe we should go back to the origins.
This is the Life Enthusiast online TV and radio network, restoring vitality to you and the planet. And we call it health shots now, because hopefully we give you a little shot of something that you can do that's going to have a long-term impact on your health in a positive way. So with that, I'm Scott Patton, your co-host. Joining me as usual, Martin Patella, health engineer and life engineer at lifeenthusiast.com. Life-enthusiast.com. Where does that dash go?
Now you're really making a mess of it. It's great. But listen, I'm going to do the short version of our otherwise long intro. It's this. Most trouble that you will ever get into, other than accidents, falls, and bullet wounds, is caused by what you breathe, drink, and eat, or put on your body as makeup. And those problems are going to be of the metabolic kind. There are two problems, and the mainstream people have been focusing on the genetics. If you have genetics, we will find a gene for it and we'll fix it. We, in our world, have been saying, come on, people, the problem is metabolic. It's not what you're born with, it's what you're putting in your mouth that's causing the trouble. And we have been working on solutions for that.
Yep. Awesome. And today we're going to be talking about a little devil that hides just above your stomach in the liver. So and fatty liver is a huge problem. And the biggest part of the problem, in my opinion, is we get addicted to all of these sweets, the croissants, the donuts, the pies, the ice cream, the beer.
Yeah, it's called macronutrients. There are three types: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And honestly, it's just the simplest chemistry. Carbohydrate is really made out of carbon and hydrogen. no other elements. If you add oxygen to it, you have fat. And if you add to those three nitrogen, you have protein. The stuff is so simple, just four atoms combined in various ways to create stuff. And what happens is we have two main modalities. We can convert proteins into carbohydrates by taking them apart. But in our mitochondria on the inside, we only have two types of fuel, either fat or starch, fat or carb. Anyway, Scott.
Fat or sugar? Can we say that?
Okay, so glucose is one of the known sugars. There are many sugars. There's fructose, glucose, galactose, mannose. There are 8 sugars that we are using in our diet. Now, the stuff that we call sugar is beet or cane sugar.
Yep.
That's actually one glucose and one fructose married to one another chemically in a 2-cycle whatever. Whereas glucose is just a single, what are they, those 6
Molecule.
carbons put together? Cyclo something?
No.
Yeah.
You're such an engineer.
Well, anyway, the point is this. Starch are 3 strings of very many glucose molecules connected together. So when you eat a potato or bread or rice, hi, doggy.
Yeah.
When you put those 3 strings into your body, they break apart into individual glucose molecules and flood your system with very easily absorbable energy. So this is what Scott is showing in that little graphic, is that all of the starchy things are easy fuel, very easy to get at and very fast burning.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? We get too much of it, and look out, we're in trouble. So, what is the liver's job, Martin?
Multiple functions. You'll come to it in a couple slides down here, but the liver, that the main. Well, okay, let's
start here.
Let's start here. This is a disease of very few warnings. Like when you start progressing on the path toward a liver disaster, fatty liver, you don't know about it. Fatty liver means that, you know what's the most wonderful example of fatty liver? Foie gras. When you take a goose and force feed it, it will at some point cause its liver to blow up, fill itself with fat. And of course, you don't care about the goose, you'll kill it anyway. And you'll have this liver that's 3 times its normal size, and it's beautifully marbled with fat. Tastes great.
Tastes great. So to tell a little personal story on this, I went through a period of time where I had blood blisters, very small blood blisters on my body that would start, and I would start sweating at 2 a.m, and they would burst, and there'd be little blood all over the place in my bed. And I went to see the doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, you look dehydrated, so go to the hospital." So I went to the hospital. It says, "Yeah, you're a little dehydrated." I think they say that to everybody. They stuck a saline thing in to hydrate me, and said, "Yeah, your liver enzymes are just a teeny weeny bit high, so we're going to send you to a liver specialist." So a week later, I went to the liver specialist, and he looked at it and says, "Yeah, okay, we'll go back in a month and get this retested, and then set an appointment to come and see me." And a week later, I had massive pains around the side of my ribs that are near my stomach.
Bottom right quadrant is what we should call it.
Yeah, and I could not move. Finally, the pain subsided. I stumbled downstairs, said to my son, "Drive me to the hospital." He said, "Well, should we call an ambulance?" I guess I must have looked really awful. And I said, "No, you can drive me there faster than the ambulance can get there, here and back." walked into the waiting room and basically got to the center of the waiting room, and I was basically fainting on my feet. Like I was just not unconscious. I was standing there unable to move. And they took me in and they said, well, we have to send all of your blood work to another hospital because you're off our charts. We have no idea. And 5 weeks later, I was coming out of the main hospital in Vancouver after having spent 5 weeks recovering from a liver that just stopped. And that made my pancreas inflamed and my kidneys overworked and all these other problems caused from that one thing. So to me, one of the most important, obviously lungs are important and heart's important and brain's important and, balls and vaginas are important. But for me, liver has a special spot in my heart because I realize what happens when that guy's not working properly.
Yeah. I have an interruption here. Somebody who's at Obama is UM. That's a cool name. It says, hey, will the liver disease cause pain in the thoracic area between right shoulder blade and kidney? And the answer is, it's the gallbladder that will be shooting up into that area. Yes, liver and gallbladder. And so it may be fatty liver, but it also could be just the way the gallbladder is functioning. It's related, but not necessarily fatty liver disease.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Now, the good news is that's like 14 years ago, and I'm totally recovered and everything is fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
I guess I should finish that off. Oh, so thank you. I don't have gallbladder for over 6 years.
So maybe the gallstones that would have been accumulated in the gallbladder are having trouble getting through this little sphincter that's called the sphincter of Ott, I think, OTT. Anyway, there's an outlet from the liver. Normally, there would be a gallbladder in the way. And there's probably some congestion or some cramping at the outlet of the liver going into the now missing gallbladder connection to the small intestine.
Oh.
So I feel for you. You probably have gallstones trying to pass. Okay. The solution for the fellow asking questions, malate, like malic acid, like sour apples, Granny Smith apples, or anything malate, like potassium malate or magnesium malate. Supplement with that. That will help to dissolve the accumulated stones.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So the master.
The functions of the organ. There we go.
Master processor. It filtrates all the garbage.
Yeah. And then we'll process. And then we'll deal with energy. And then we'll regulate blood glucose. It's actually, this is one perspective. Liver is a complex organ. For one thing, it has phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 liver function. In phase 1, you chop stuff up. In phase 2, you process it to be neutralized. In phase 3, you package it in such ways that it can be sent out to elimination. And that's this packaging, turning it into bile, that this question that we were asked a moment ago is relating to. Because as you're packaging into these bile packets, it's supposed to flush out in a kind of a slimy, gooey thing called bile. But that stuff can congeal and turn into gravel and even nuggets. I have seen gallstones the size of the finger that I'm just showing here come out. Anyhow, so that's the story here. The liver is supremely important and it has multiple roles, many hats. And Scott, we can't hear you. Mic off.
In addition to the malic acid, would cranberry juice help?
No, that's usually used for acidity to deal with kidney stones.
Okay, so a different stone.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the master. Now, the fatty liver, it occurs along things like pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, switch to here. This is the cause of it. And the cause are the two most common sugars. One is glucose, the other one's fructose, and one of each is in the cane sugar, as I was explaining.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is this: fructose can only be processed in your liver. Glucose is burnt by every organ in the body. Like when you have the mitochondria in every cell of your body, especially the high consumption of energy like brain, heart, liver, and muscles, they can easily take glucose on. So when you eat starchy things, they call it carbo loading, you can actually utilize those quite readily.
Right.
But fructose can only be processed by your liver.
And we have to bring this up. High fructose corn syrup. Are we talking about the same thing when we talk about fructose?
That is that very thing, Scott.
Yeah.
That is the very thing. So if you are, there are two main body types. One is the hunter type that processes or is dominant in processing energy from fats. Those are the people who should be on a ketogenic diet. And then are the other types. They're the nervy, thyroid dominant types who are easier to process glucose. However, if you screw it up and you overeat fruit or overconsume high fructose corn syrup, or if you eat too much sugar, because of course half of sugar is fructose, all of this will contribute to your liver getting very heavily taxed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The AI thingy put in hepatic bottleneck. There is really a bottleneck. You have a limited capacity. I'll explain it this way. You can store about 1,500 calories in your muscles, but only about 150 calories in your liver.
So if you're eating a lot of fructose and it has to be looked after by your liver, you've got overload going on.
Yeah, so watch it. Fast oxidizers completely cannot manage high fruit diet. And so, example, Steve Jobs, former CEO of Apple, was a fruitarian for a few years in his younger life because he was a genius and a fanatic and a not a regular guy. So whatever he did to the extreme. So when he somewhere along the way got convinced that being a fruitarian was the way to go, he went fruitarian.
And we know what happened.
Yeah, later in his life, he lost his liver and his pancreas because he essentially destroyed his metabolic system by eating against his type.
You can be brilliant and dumb at the same time, can't you?
Any virtue taken to an extreme becomes a vice.
That's a good quote. We're going to remember that one.
All right.
So here we have our cascading feedback loop. Yeah, big mistake, George. That's right. We have high sugar input. We have hepatic fat storage.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you push the fructose, you wreck your liver, which will then cause an insulin resistance at the cellular level.
You're not getting energy.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden you're more tired because I can't figure out what's going on with the stupid application. It just arguing with me all the time and wants to be paid attention to. All right.
And then we have increased vulnerability. You
require
more insulin, more, and the body finally says,
here's the weirdness, right? So you're tired because you overdid starchy foods, but that's what you know. So when you're feeling tired, you reach for starchy foods to try and give yourself energy.
Yeah.
So you wrecked yourself with donuts and you eat a donut, which will make it worse. And you're circling the drain, so to speak.
And you see, I'm very, very fortunate, Martin, as you know. I have the type of metabolic type that I get very alkaline if I have donuts and starches and breads. So I'll have a slice of bread and then I'll collapse into a coma on the couch and sleep for 2 hours. And then I'll wake up and I'll be back to normal, and knowing like, oh yeah, like I really shouldn't have had that donut.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're the easiest guy to manage alcoholism because you fall asleep before you can wreck yourself.
That's right. That's so true. All these people partying and drinking, and I'm like in the corner, sound asleep.
Yeah.
So we want to reduce our inputs and cut out the sugars and refined carbs. Oh, we've said that so many times.
Yeah, let me just riff on these sciencey words. Stop lipogenesis by cutting added sugars and refined carbs, right? Here's what happens. When you eat starchy foods, the next thing it happens, the insulin comes in and through the pathway of triglycerides converts it into white fat, belly fat. And so you start converting your muscles into more circumference around your belly. You'll be turning from a square into an apple.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
And then we want to burn our stored fats because we have to move. We have to make sure we're not spending time. So it's not just we have to move. We have to decide on a lifestyle, okay? Because when I said move, Martin probably spends as much time as anybody in front of his computer.
Yeah.
But he's made some lifestyle choices. And very close to his computer is a little rebounder. Well, it's not little necessarily, but so Martin, talk a little bit about the physical activity you go through.
Yeah, it only takes maybe 30, 35 minutes a day to activate the metabolic pathways. And so I do 10 minutes on the rebounder and 20 minutes of calisthenics, which are, and I have a whole program for it. Scott and I will be publishing it soon to all of you. 14 chapter, how to live well even when you're old. I call it something nice. Thrive after 55.
Yeah. And the sad thing is that 30 years old is the new 55.
Yeah, okay, that too. But anyway, so we do the activation of the metabolic systems by pushing movements fast enough into our body. So the whole idea is to activate the metabolic switches. That's all. You don't need to do more than that.
And when we're moving, we're getting our lymphatic system doing its thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point there. Thank you. Whoever Obama is, Obama is
Obamisms.
Maybe that's what it means. Obamaism?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like to house sit, travel the world, and I'm looking after 2 dogs. I'm on the beach in La Paz. We're trying to figure you out. It is funny, isn't it? And I'm right on the beach in La Paz in the Baja California, south of California in Mexico. And I have 2 beautiful dogs. And every morning and it's hot. So every morning I get up really early because it's really nice before the sun, starts beating down on us. And every evening the sunset is right in front of me. So we go for a walk and usually 40 minutes, 45 minutes. That's what it's been the last couple of days. And,
life is beautiful.
That's one of the ways that I get my exercise. And also you get that beautiful sun coming in. At least you young fellows get a laugh at it. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So, we're young. I really appreciate that.
I'm just getting confused now. Is that another Obamaism?
No,
you and I young
fellas, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep going here because we're getting close to our end. So, reading the warning signs. We've got darkened, velvety patches of skin tags.
Yeah, no, listen, don't just gloss over it funny. Okay, so this is this velvety dark pigmentation that starts appearing mostly on the neck and in the armpits or around the armpits, upper arms. It's called acanthosis nigrans. It's just blackening or darkening of the skin. So that's one. The skin tag is caused by excess acidity, or pH is so acidic that the skin is now creating these little appendages. They look like, well, yeah, I guess skin tags is a good word for it. But they're like hanging little.
The little bit of skin that kind of comes off the main skin.
Right. Anyway, those are visible evidence that you are at the edge of diabetes and that your pH balance is mismanaged. And then, of course, the second one you started talking about, expanding the middle.
Expanding the middle. Yeah. Visceral fat. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more in the coming months too, because I think that's a real problem for many, many people.
Yeah.
And so here's your risk profile.
Oh, yeah. The fatty liver reaches into many things. So on the left, cardiovascular disease, right? Which means hardening of the arteries, blood pressure rising, inflammation throughout. So
right,
higher
diabetes and type 2 diabetes.
Right, yeah. And
so
the high triglycerides is what your blood test will indicate.
Yeah.
The type 2 diabetes will be indicated by high H1, what is it called? HbA1c. Letters strung in the wrong order.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can restore it. Like the good news is, and we feel this about many things that people suffer with today, is if you do the right things instead of the wrong things, listen to the right people, not misinformation from the wrong people, you can get some restoration going on.
Yeah.
And
well, the important ones is you need to figure out how to become unaddicted to the carbs.
Yeah, and that's not easy.
No, because of course you are, your genetics are pulling you in that specific direction.
So we have the food industry that's trying to give blasts of great taste on your tongue.
Yeah, they play into our addictive nature.
Yeah,
they play into it.
And then so you've got multi-billion-dollar industries that are trying to get you to eat stuff that you shouldn't be eating and drink stuff you shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah.
And then you need to make sure that you've got the essential nutrients going in. Choline-rich foods.
Yeah, choline is an interesting thing. Acetylcholine is the stuff that your brain runs on. And so you need choline, and guess what it's in? Well, we'll tell you again, but to cut the mystery, it's egg yolks, the stuff they tell you not to eat. It's steak or other red meat, the stuff they tell you not to eat, any meat really. And especially the lean meat, which you'll find in the heart muscle, the tongue, and the liver.
Yeah, Martin, it's really interesting if you study history, things like, like the Aztec lifestyle, they would kill all these people. And what did they do? They ate their hearts, they ate their liver, they ate their kid, they ate the organ meat. You never hear them talking about, they ate the leg. I mean, they probably did, but the focus was on, those main organs.
Yeah, same thing with the hunters. They eat the organs.
Yeah. All right, and then you need to move. So you need to cut out the stuff that's causing problems. You need to add in the stuff that you're not eating that's giving you the nutrients, and then you need to exercise and move. And then the third thing, which I'm waiting for the last, is something that I never do.
Drink coffee.
Drink coffee.
Well, the thyroid dominant types don't do well on stimulants, and so for us, we just become completely buzzed out on
that's
coffee.
What happens to me.
However, you can take the coffee rectally. It's called coffee enema, and it arrives in your liver through the portal vein or the hepatic vein straight up from where you put it on the bottom end.
Yeah.
And it will flush your liver of all its toxins. It's phenomenal. Coffee enema is one of the most underappreciated health practices.
Yeah, colon hydrotherapy is something that I think people should do on an ongoing basis.
Right. But the coffee enema specifically, Scott.
Yeah, I've done it 3 or 4 or 5 times, and every time they did a coffee enema.
Oh, I see. Okay, great.
Yeah, it was just I didn't have a choice. I was laying there in a very compromised position, and they were sticking whatever they wanted up there.
Yeah, first water, then coffee. Okay.
That's right. Restoring systemic output, habits, and protection. So 20-minute walk or a 10-minute bounce and some calisthenics. Yes, that's exactly right. Cut out carbs, exercise. And then regular coffee consumption, either through the mouth or through the bottom.
Yep, that's right. But
Coffee
it's not coffee with 9 lumps of sugar, okay?
That's right. Like, that's the thing. We're not talking about the triple latte Americano grande. We're talking about like a real coffee, black and nothing in it. And so what you want, stabilize your energy.
Telemetry.
Yes. Progress versus noise. We want to normalize your liver enzymes, reduce your waist circumference, and your weight over time.
Yeah. The main point is this. When you put yourself on a new lifestyle, you will lose a lot of water weight. So don't get distracted by the fluctuation of your waistline. That will eventually subside and stabilize. What you really want is see the normalization of liver enzymes.
Yeah.
If you have them dysregulated, you definitely need to pay attention here.
Yeah, it's a big problem. And the sweet cream, of course, is all of our and when I say all of our, I am meaning my metabolic type. My tribe is, I just love that sweet cream. And unfortunately, like, the good news is I haven't had any for months and months. So once you get through it,
28 days is usually the threshold. When you get past that, that the addiction is broken.
Yeah. And thank you, George, for your kind words. We hope that you get well fast, and you'll be in our prayers. So here's your homework. Skip the sugar. Yeah, I know that cream is so hard. Make sure you move for 20 minutes. It's not long, right? It's only 20 minutes. And you know what? If you're driving somewhere, like you're going to the grocery store, park at the end of the parking lot, not close to the front. And that'll be a 10-minute walk in and a 10-minute walk out. And get whole foods. Try to shop on the outside of the store aisles, not in the inside, not the processed stuff. And I'm going to say this, when you're looking at eggs, you really want, chickens that have been running around outside eating bugs and organic stuff, and not ones that have been stuck in the factories. So if
the ones with the orange yolks. Yeah.
So the homework: skip the sugar, cut down a little bit on the cream, move for 20 minutes, have whole foods. Eat some apples, eat some carrots, eat some salad.
Yeah. Let me just dwell on this for 1 second, Scott. Can you think of all the people who are eating egg white omelets and hating them?
Yeah. And
they have been sold a bunch of crap that says that egg yolk causes cholesterol. Cholesterol and choline share the CHOL because they are related. You need choline to be able to think.
Yeah. We wonder why we have people with dementia when the brain is made up of cholesterol, like a significant amount of cholesterol, and then we take statins, which reduce the cholesterol. So it's kind of like you're removing cholesterol from your brain, which you need in your brain for your brain to function. It's just insane.
Yep.
All right. And
so you're consulting us. Thank you. We are the health engineers, and we appreciate you being here with us and enjoy life. And
so there are some things that we have that are specifically set up for.
We don't need to talk about the products.
Yeah, we didn't forget. We just kept talking. So anyway, here is the first one, which I love. And where is it? There it is. This is New Liver, and
Yeah.
I'm halfway through my bottle of New Liver now,
Yeah.
and I think it's just crucial. It's
Yeah.
I
This
mean,
thing
face
is
it, you need to make sure
rebuilding.
your liver's in good shape, your heart's in good shape, your circulatory system is in good shape, your lungs in good shape, and your brain's in good shape. So this is one that's aimed particularly at the liver. Twice a year, every year I take it, and then I just basically rotate through about 6 different Excella superfruits. The next one will probably be the heart studies formula, because
Yeah.
and all I have to say is I'm not on any drugs of any type, legal or illegal, and I don't need to be.
Right.
So
Great. Well, anyway, New Liver, repair it. And we have an awesome product for people who just cannot make themselves eat a smoothie. And that's called liver sauce. And that's available and you can take it. It's much pricier than it's much pricier than the New Liver, per unit. But
oh yeah. It enhances your immune system. It gives you hormonal harmony, protects your cellular health, healthy digestion. And again, like we always say, we have lots of information. Here are the ingredients. We tell you everything that's in it. Here's the instructions for what to do. Take it on an empty stomach 20 minutes before your meals. And here are a bunch of articles. And sometimes we have scientific studies that there they are. We reference them. Sorry, I went down too far.
No. There's just simply this. You see, what happens is you would have to be clicking through on these different references.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's lots of information, and we want you to have the information. You want you to see all sides of the story, and then you can do what's best for yourself. And then another one of my favorite brands, I have used this, Digest Ease.
Yeah. Now the LG stands for liver and gallbladder. So our visitor Obamaism should be taking this one because it will help with the bile flow.
Yeah.
That's why this has been conceived for people who either don't have a gallbladder anymore or have issues with the flow. This is the thing.
Great. And last but not least, holy tea.
Of course, holy tea.
If you can't take coffee like me, then this is a pretty good thing to take.
Yeah, this is different. This is my milk thistle and his cousins. It got its name not by holy cow. It got its name by holy thistle. And that's why it's called holy tea. And
awesome.
Yep.
Thank you. I will support the store. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, and when you have a chance, click on subscribe because that really is what is helping us to keep in business.
That's a really good question. Where are you both located? Martin is located in Vancouver Island, although the business is located in Washington State. And I am located today in Mexico on the Baja Peninsula. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be located somewhere else. So we never know where Scott is.
Yeah, Scott is what we know as a digital nomad.
Right. And I look after dogs and cats and fish. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
So, Martin, any last words before we sign off?
Oh, heck, we always say we restore vitality to you and to the planet. And we mean it. We are environmentally aware and concerned, but we don't necessarily believe in the nonsense of carbon causes heat.
Right.
But still, we're environmentalists, and we are definitely helping people manage their world better than they have up to now.
Yeah.
Strength through education. That's
Strength through education. That's right. So thank you for joining us, everybody. This has been the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
My body's a temple, but the walls are cracked. Stuck in the rubble of the years I've stacked. Stagnation in flows like a river through the dust. Toxic whispers in the wind, but I gotta rebuild. I must.